case anybody forgot what you look like.
Yeah, right?
Hasn't been that long.
10 years since I've been here, though. Crazy, right?
Well, for a year,
Yeah, right? Almost like 10 years today. Crazy.
You look totally different than back then.
I look bad.
You had the hair thing going.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Zach, how did you feel tonight?
I actually felt pretty good. Surprisingly, I had a little bit of adrenaline going, which was it's nice to get back into some competition. So overthrown a little bit, but had really, really good movement, which was kind of the issue I'd been fighting when I was dealing with injuries. So that was a really big positive, and obviously getting a ground ball. Any level of ground balls play, so that just shows that the action was good, and physically feel good. So now it's just about maybe getting the command a little bit better as I go up the levels and getting back to Baltimore.
Were all your pitches the two-seam sinkers tonight?
Yeah, that was the focus. I threw a lot of breaking balls in the bullpen before the game. That felt fine. But today was really just about getting out in a game, getting the juices flowing a little bit, and just competing. So got over that hurdle, feel great. So now just moving on, and now it's kind of like that approach you take in spring training. The first time you get off the mound, it's more so just making sure everything's working, and then you start getting into honing, the pitches, make sure you're commanding the ball. I was missing arm side today, which is okay. I was running off the plate, which is, good. I just need to hone in that movement and, command the ball a little bit better. But as I go forward, that'll be my focus.
When was the last time you started a game?
2013, so it's been a while. So The routine was kind of weird, but it was good. It was something that we wanted to do to make sure that I got loose the right way. And I didn't feel anything when warming up. Obviously, when you get back to Baltimore, when I get back to Baltimore, the warm-up's gonna be a little quicker. But we didn't feel the need to do that right now. We want to make sure everything was intact, I should say. When I was warming up, make sure I felt good in every stage, and then get out in the game. So it was nice to get back in here and started. This is like the only place I never started opening day, I think, in the minors. So I finally got it in, even though it was one inning.
How unfortunate was it they had to wait 24 hours longer to make the start?
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, but I think the older I've gotten, the more you can't control it. And at the end of the day, the extra day might not have been a bad thing, for me. It's not going to change my schedule at all. I'll be in Delmarva the same day that I was going to be. So, it was a little disappointing at the time, but I was happy to get here today. It's perfect weather, so it was better thrown today than yesterday when it was probably going to be a little bit wet out there.
Talk about your arm. How's your arm doing after that? I know you're not going to feel it until tomorrow morning,
right.
Everything, but how's it feel right now?
Feels good, out on the mound. Like I said, I had a couple misses arm side, and almost like kind of testing it a little bit to an extent to see if anything was going to kind of come back and bite me, but nothing. It felt great. I feel normal, and that's what the doctors had told me. Once the issue heals, it's not something I'm going to deal with. So a lot of that was the mental hurdle of getting over that today.
Zach, I know that this has taken a while for you to get back, and I know you wanted to make sure you didn't kind of cheat the process. But,
right.
Was it different? Was it special just to get back on the mound? Because I think you've been throwing for about a month now, basically.
Yeah.
Just how different was it?
Yeah, it was, like I said, I was telling Mark Henderson, I played with him in the big leagues before, and I kind of surprised him. Kind of nervous to get back out there and compete. The last time I pitched was over a month ago in Boston. That was the last bit of competition I had. So no matter any level that you go to, you're competing, and it's fun to do that. So I was excited to get back to work.
What do you think is the next step now?
What's the Tuesday? I'll be in Delmarva on Thursday. Same thing, going to be an inning. I'm not sure if we're going to build up to 2 innings at this point, but we're definitely going to do a back-to-back at some point. But as long as everything tomorrow feels good at the stadium, I'll talk to Buck and Roger and Richie, and we'll go from there, but just kind of stay on schedule.
After the move the Orioles made this afternoon, putting you on the 60-day when you come back July 4th, that's obviously the target date to rejoin the Orioles?
Yeah, it was a little different initially when we looked at the schedule, but not too far off. So they felt like that was the best thing, and the 2 extra days, possibly or 3 that I'm going to have to spend on the deal now because of that move, might not be the worst thing. But I just, actually, Dan Duquette just texted me right before I went out there to let me know, asked kind of if I was okay with that. And, obviously, not really in my control anyway, but it was kind of a courtesy text, and, I'm fine with it. I just want to get back healthy and help the team, obviously, as quick as I can, but now we know,
Does that impact, because Bucket said 2 in Delmarva, back-to-back Bowie. Would there be another one thrown in now, or are you not sure?
Well, you would probably assume that there would be, but I have to look at the calendar exactly, because, after that back-to-back, it looked like I could have been activated, so now you're going to have to push that back a few days. So maybe, get another one in, or maybe a sim game on the road. I think we'll be on the road at that time in Milwaukee.
Good.